Boker Tov, everyone. Good morning. I'm so glad that you are here to share our Elul reflections. There was a slight technology problem this morning where Zoom and other technology is just not allowing me to live stream. We'll look into that after the Elul reflections. But in order to bring it to you this morning, I am currently recording it so that you can watch it at any time you would like. This morning, we are featuring a beautiful reflection from Sandy Sherman, which is surely a treat. But before we do that, let us turn to our psalm that we start with every single morning, Psalm 27, singing the words of Achat Sha'alti, of the things that we are asking of God. Achat she'alti meit Adonai, ota avakesh. Achat she'alti meit Adonai, ota avakesh. Shivti beveit Adonai kol yemei chayai lachatot benoam Adonai ulevaker veikalo lachatot benoam Adonai ulevaker veikalo. One of the questions I've asked of people throughout the Elul reflections has been, what is something in terms of art that has inspired you or helped you during the pandemic? And Sandy Sherman speaks to this question.
Hi, I'm Sandy Sherman, and I am a lyricist and songwriter. Before explaining what I have been doing during this pandemic, I want to explain what I have come to learn about my craft. For me, giving birth to a song allows me to transcend the boundaries of myself, and in its process of creation, I feel like I am holding the hands of time and embracing an eternal moment. I become renewed with energy, excitement, and fulfillment. During my writing career, I have come to understand that writing is an enormous privilege and huge responsibility. A song has the power to heal, to inspire, to share a universal emotion that connects with others and says, Shema, we are one. I have become aware of a ripple effect and discovered that sometimes even one of my silly Disney children's songs can have a meaningful effect on a child. For example, I read a parent's review of one of my Disney lullabies, and she said that when she was a child, she refused to go to sleep until my song was played, and then she could imagine all the little animals in my song going to sleep with her. And now she plays this same song every night for her child. During this pandemic, I have written some new lyrics and I am working on some music to them. They are optimistic and they are helping me work through these challenging times. However, helping me is not enough. Writing songs that collect dust is not sufficient. I believe that the whole point of writing is to spread its power to others. During these COVID times, I have not only been writing new songs, but I have been especially drawn to examining many previously written ones, which have been tossed into forgotten files. Much to my amazement, I have discovered a few oldies but goodies, and I have been exploring business strategies with the goal of sharing these songs for no other reason or compensation than I think that they can touch another soul. I find it very comforting during these times to think that maybe, in some way, some of my songs have the power to unite, heal, bring joy, encourage reflection, contribute to positive change, and leave a tiny, uplifting memory in the universe. I am in the Temple Bethel member directory, and if anyone would like me to upload a link to some of these songs, please feel free to contact me. Thank you for listening, and Lashana Tova.
Thank you so much, Sandy, for your beautiful words of inspiration. And I am so pleased that Sandy also offered to share with us a piece that she has written, or rather, she's written the lyrics to this particular piece. She does also write music. And this is to An American Twistery, which is a piece that is executive director is Larry King, and it's a musical that we hope will be put on after the COVID pandemic. So I hope that everyone will have the opportunity to see that. And the composer contacted her to write lyrics to this song, and I hope you enjoy it. It certainly has a beautiful message.
From where I stand, the torch burns bright, an ever-shining beacon in the night, lighting the way for people from far and near, and telling them that all are welcome here.
From where I stand, the flag's unfurled. It's sending out a message to the world, saying as long as I'm waving proud and free, then that's the way America will be.
So let's embrace courage deep inside us, by never letting fear or terror guide us. We'll live with the hope of tomorrow and follow where our hearts long to go.
From where we stand, we will endure a nation that's determined and secure. We pledge our trust that justice will conquer all, and knowing we belong will help us to be strong and bravely rise to answer freedom's call. We'll never fall from where we stand, where we stand. And knowing we belong will help us to be strong and bravely rise to answer freedom's call. We'll never fall from where we stand, from where we stand, from where we
Thank you, Sandy, for sharing that with us. And I do encourage you to reach out to Sandy if you'd like to hear some more of her inspirational music, calming music, music that has such powerful messages within. But this morning we center ourselves by coming back to Psalm 27, reading these same words as we do each morning. Of David, Adonai is my light and my victory. From whom shall I feel fright? Adonai is the stronghold of my life. From whom shall I feel terror? When evildoers approach me in battle to feed on my flesh, my pursuers, my adversaries, they have stumbled, they have fallen down. If a camp encamps against me, my heart will not fear. If a war arises against me, in this I would trust. One thing I have sought from Adonai, how I long for it, that I might live in the house of Adonai all the days of my life, that I might look upon the sweetness of Adonai and spend time in the palace. That you might hide me in your sukkah on a chaotic day, hide me in the hiding places of your tent, Raise me high upon a rock. Now my head rises high above my enemies round about, and in your tent I'll offer offerings to the sound of the truah. I shall sing and chant praises to Adonai. Hear, Adonai, my voice, I am crying out. Be gracious to me, answer me. My heart has said to you, seek my face. I am seeking your face, Adonai. Do not hide your face from me. Do not turn your servant away in anger. You have been my help. Do not forsake me. Do not abandon me, God of my deliverance. For my father and my mother have abandoned me, yet Adonai gathers me up. Make your path apparent to me. Guide me in the upright road because of those up ahead who lie in wait for me. Do not hand me over to the lust of my adversaries, for false witnesses have risen against me, puffing violently. Had I not the faith that I would see the goodness of God in the land of life, wait for Adonai. Fill your waiting with hope in Adonai. Let your heart be strong and of good courage, and wait hopefully for Adonai. Every day we've been going through the Psalms, this particular Psalm going through verse by verse and picking out small snippets as it appears in Deborah Robbins' book, Opening Your Heart. And today she focuses on the very end of the third verse in our Psalm. If a war arises against me, in this I would trust. And there's one particular thing that she's going to point out in what she leaves, which is that punctuation, as we know it in our English language and everything that we write down, and in modern day Hebrew, punctuation did not exist in our sacred scrolls, didn't exist in the Psalms until the Masoretes kind of put that in centuries later. And what that means is that we don't know exactly where originally the periods or the semicolons or any other punctuation was. And sometimes, as we know, punctuation can make all the difference in how we come to understand the words in front of us. So this morning I share with you the words from this particular morning's liturgical poem and teaching. The earliest Hebrew texts of the Psalms were written without punctuation. The Masoretes added marks to denote the beginning and ending of each poem, numbering each verse, punctuating and vocalizing the text. English translations with commas, colons, semicolons, exclamation mark, question marks, periods, express the insight of the translator, just as the translation of each word became a commentary on the original Hebrew. Bezot ani boteach, period. In this, still I would be confident, period. In this, I remain confirmed in my faith, period. In this, nonetheless do I trust, period. In this, you I still trust, period. The period makes each of these statements one of belief. This is God's present, being present at a time of great fear in my heart. But there's another way. Bezot ani voteach, colon. In this I would trust. What a difference a colon makes. The expression of fear in my heart becomes an invitation, encouragement in illness or grief, physical pain, disappointment, jealousy, or frustration to ask myself, in what do I trust? In this I trust. In this I have total confidence. In this I am at ease and tranquil. In this I experience safety and security, gravity, forgiveness, creativity. The sun will rise and the moon will move through its cycle. The compassion and kindness of people that I can ask God one thing, anything. In how we read the verses on this text, might we be inspired to ask ourselves this question: in what do we trust? In what do we find confidence? In what do we find security? Perhaps, like Sandy, it's through our art, our ability to express our deepest longings and desires through the music or the compositions, the words that we compose. Perhaps there's a different answer. One is not more right than the other. but let us invite in that semicolon. In moments of challenge, let us ask ourselves, in what are we sure? Where do we find our support and our comfort? And finally, we turn back to our Psalm PowerPoint as we hear the sound of the shofar.
Shavarim, Teruah, Tekiah.
May the shofar sound call in us an awakening, call in us an ability to make the very most of this day that we are blessed to have before us. And finally, we turn to a Mischa Barak prayer, a prayer wanting everyone who is in need of healing of mind, healing of body, healing of spirit, healing of any kind, to find that healing today. We're thinking in particular about those who are suffering from the wildfires, those who are dealing with the hurricanes. We hope that you find healing and that you find safety and peace. I invite you to join with me in Debbie Friedman's Mischa Barak prayer this morning. Mischa Barak Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Behimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mischa Barak Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lehavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirits, and let us say Amen. Today we have a busy day. At 12 o'clock, there'll be Torah study. At 7 p.m., we have our High Holy Day boot camp that I hope everyone can take part in. And then tomorrow morning, we'll come right back here for another Elul reflection. Have a wonderful day.